check, radio check. Work is in the AO. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Glad you can join us today for a really late Motorsport Manager run. Just as an update, yesterday we did run a couple more stages in the 2024 season with Watson Industries. And unfortunately, the results weren't exactly up to par. We've actually dropped in the standings. We're currently second overall in the teams. Are we? Yeah, we're currently second overall in the teams, with Silva Racing showing its chops once again, jumping ahead of us with 7 points in a differential. Surprisingly, though, Garuda Racing, who were supposed to be the top contenders, being dropped off from the Asia Pacific Super Cup, are currently at 5th. ZRT and Lucatelli have managed to save them, or rather, what do you call it? Find their rhythm again, and they're currently at 3rd and 4th, respectively. Most of the problems came with the fact that we didn't exactly perform as expected around the last few laps of the previous stages, and unfortunately, that means that Perez, who was originally around 4th, is now down to 12th, with 23 points behind the current leader, who is, in a surprising twist, still our number one driver, Vosu, who's running up at 54. Gansler, though, who pretty much was top of the list from previous season, is just behind him with 6 points, which means he can easily push Vosu out of this if we go through Tonda today, which is very, very likely. Time being, though, we just have to get through and see how far we're gonna. Oh, okay, repairs are complete. Let's see how far we're going to get through today. I'm not sure how many runs we'll be able to get here. Oh no. Ferguson morale boost, huh? Okay, let's see what she's got. I've found God. How long is this gonna last? 20 weeks? I don't know how that's gonna help. Watson Industries driver Malene Perez has revealed in an interview that she's found God and that religion will be playing a great part in her life from now on. I always felt that something was missing, said the 27-year-old. There's something out there that's greater than just the both of us. When asked how she first came upon this revelation, she explains, "It was after a near miss on the track. After that, I felt this enormous realization someone out there must have a plan for us all." Okay. At least it's got boost to our morale and the focus. We definitely need the morale boost, but I'm not too sure that's going to help us in the long run. Okay, repairs are complete. We're working on improving stuff. We only need 15 days to get that engine back and running. I want to push up the performance level now, but that's going to eat everything up. Okay, that's parts improved. I need some of that cleaned up as well. Parts seem to be okay, but I really need Perez to get some good parts as well. Any hoot. With everything up on the way, let's see how things are. Oh no, first vote. Addition of. Addition of a stage. I'm done with a scouting mission. Okay, Caroline Lorenz would be a low-quality driver, but she has a decent amount of potential. Should help us see the improvement in her skills. Caroline's best talent is her adaptability, but she isn't the best at driving smoothly. Which means she's better off as a rally driver instead of a racer here on the tarmac. That's not a good sign, to be honest. Let's look at that later. Lorenz. She also does not have any driver traits, and well, her morale is already pretty good, so I guess that's oh, she's a reserve. Vittorio Corsa. Which team is that? GT. Okay, let's go to that. Doha Trek A. Do I want to vote for that? Everybody is currently undecided on it. We've already got a long run as it is. What's on the track change? That is a lot of square corners there, though. Do we want to do that? I feel like there's too many tracks already. Even though technically the calendar, race calendar is still pretty short, but I'm not too keen on adding another one, so I'm gonna vote against adding a track. Garuda's abstained, Exile abstained, Dragon also abstained. Yeah, it's only the Silver. That's not Silver Racing. There's only one team. I think that's Octane. Oh wait, that's two. Nope. We've got too many tracks on the calendar. I don't think we want to add one more. Okay, another 2-month recess, and there's a front wing finish. Perfect. Okay, thanks, Chief. Now let's see if we can do anything about that front wing. Oh, it's an illegal part. No need to fix that just yet. Probably gonna need another. What's the next part on the calendar after Tondela? It's gonna be the Ardennes. The Ardennes gonna need engine and low-speed corners, so that's gonna net us with another engine. A new engine for this one. Okay, what do I want? I want top speed and reliability. Top speed and crap. These guys are for next time. For when we need a next season car part. I think I want to risk it and get get a reduction in cost, but I don't have top speed, but the reduction in reliability. But that's only gonna give us a good engine. I want a great engine. Risk a rule break one, but it's gonna cost us an additional $1 million for that. We're currently at 9 million. Want to risk it? I mean, we can't build an epic engine just yet because we don't have a level up on our test track. I'll take it. It's going for the next season anyway. $6 million. Not exactly a good sign. It's gonna be another note from the boss. Improve the reliability on that engine, I think. Hmm. Gonna improve the reliability on this guy. Then it'll improve the performance for next time. So this is gonna be one of the front wing parts for next season. Once all of those parts have been set up, we'll focus on improving the reliability and performance of our stock parts. Oh shoot, why did I skip that? Anyway, let's look back into that. Tondela, they just passed through here, so we're going to be running in their fumes, and looks like Lippanen and Tanakuchi once again dominating from Motorsport Championship. Lippanen is still 2 points ahead of his teammate. Surikov gets one over Parisi, scoring third and rounding up the podium at Tondela for Kitano Sport. Unfortunately, that does not give him enough points to get into the top three, with Lavoie for Panther race team currently taking the spot away from Parisi, who drops down to with 2 points behind Lavoie. Everybody else seems to be in a bit of a rank up there. Next one on the Asia Pacific Super Cup. Ribeiro from Ruiz Motorsports scores first at Doha. And Amy McLeod from Team Keyta gets second, 24 seconds behind him. And then at third, pretty close to 25 seconds behind for Esprit GP is Niels Ek Makdisi Somi. Despite that, not enough to get Ribeiro up to first. This is probably his first win. This is actually his first time he got a point. And he's now at second with an extra pole position bonus there. France from MRT Valbuena is still on top, and Kruger Motorsports Armoa, who did not score anything at all this run, is still at third. Amy McLeod jumping a little up to fourth thanks to this performance. Nils Akamatsen Somi, despite the good showing, is still at 10th. Meanwhile, Parker from Firebird MRT still scoreless. Not exactly a good sign for the veteran. That should put us in something through, right? Oh, there's going to be a scout report tomorrow. There it is. Okay, let's see what's on the news. Theo Diaz Vasquez would be one of the weakest drivers. He has a decent amount of potential, which would help us see some improvement. He's good in focusing, but he struggles with braking. Not exactly a good sign for our speed units. And he's already with Russian oil. There's nothing we can do with him right now. Okay, Tondela's going to be a two-stop race, I'm afraid. 32 laps, 2.4 miles. Lap record is 1 minute 5.146 seconds. Things are expected to be dry. 10% chance of rain. Very likely that's going to be reversed. Low speed corners will be great for cars with excellent front wings. Looks like our front wings dropped in performance compared to Zempelli. Tire compound shows for the race are super soft. It's all fairly good for track wear. That's all from me. Okay, what's on? This is the same complaint they had last season, but you can't really do much because the fuel efficiency options from the manufacturers are really bad. What's it again? It's Theo Diaz Vasquez from Portugal. Yeah, no, Spain, and he's with Russian oil. Alright, check that. Good. Okay, it's with car improvements and reliability. 1 day before the race, seems to be okay. Car engine. The engine is being built. Still 13 days to go. Zampilli is currently on top on the front wings. Looks like we'll have to work on that later. Another great front wing that's not, what do you call it? Not a rule breaker should be fine. Need to work on that later. Ooh, pit stop training. Sure. I'll take that. I've heard from some of my friends at Octane that they often spend time practicing their pit stops in a dedicated facility at the track in Guilford. I was wondering if we can take the pit crew down down there ourselves. It'd be a great benefit. Yeah, I'll do that. I need better pit crew, guys. I know it's gonna be temporary. Yeah, the boss is angry again because of the money. Time for a regular roundup of what the paddock has been saying before the race in Tondela. Locatelli likely to struggle. Their performance level will be well down on the usual. Sure as hell wouldn't want to be in the car this weekend. Vosu is confident. I don't like that. That means there's a good chance he's gonna, what do you call it? He's gonna flip out on this one. 6 points ahead of Gansler, and I feel like I can stand that lead. Why wouldn't I? My team is stronger, and so am I. That's relative, dude. We're not exactly in a good spot right now, even though we managed to get some better parts. Locatelli Racing getting double mentions in this particular race bike. It's like Schober is not confident herself about this. Yes, boss, I know the coffers aren't looking too healthy. That big cliff there for the building investment was kind of terrifying to watch. Okay, what do we have? Alright, factory staff are idle, which means it's a good time as any to improve the reliability of these parts. Definitely gonna need a boost in factory staff though soon. 93,000. Black Sea, Munich, 2/3, second, third, fourth. Not exactly a good sign. Gonna have to change some parts. Looks like Perez isn't exactly too happy. Okay, let's switch over to spec parts. That didn't do much. I have no idea why that changed things, but okay. I'll take it. Alright. Save it from here. Hopefully we don't suffer significantly in Tondola. Remember, it's going to be a two-stop race, and most of the time, at least from the previous seasons, we had trouble staying consistent in the later parts of the run. Let's see if we can actually get through this with less trouble. We mostly have issues here in the opening corner because our drivers are both pretty awful when it comes to braking. And Vosu mostly loves to rush through things, which makes it a bit easier for him to overrun the track. Honestly, I'd like Perez to to switch over and do some practice runs while Bukalova goes for driving, but I'm not too confident that that's going to help us in the long run. Especially since she has better stats mostly compared to Bukalova. And she provides better money as a pay driver. See how this works. We're going for short stints for both of our drivers. Wait, what? Okay, where were we? Alright, let's push these guys up on standard soft. Standard stints of 4 laps. Hopefully we'll get something out of this. And not have issues with the setup knowledge as we did in Munich. Or rather Doha, or not Doha, Abu Dhabi, which kind of ate up most of our unit's performance and made Perez suffer a bit more. Alright, I'm seeing some quick growths for Vosu here on the outlap. That's a positive sign. Bukalova seems to be the usual. Hopefully that's going to change in the future. Now from this distance, it looks more reddish than Watson's brown. I wonder if it's just because of the lighting. Handling is spot on. Looks like Bukalova got a sector best here. But the suspension is struggling with all of the tight corners. Yeah, I gotta change that after one lap. I need a bit more oversteer. Oh no, a bit more understeer maybe. Oh, well, Sue is top of the box. Yeah, I'm bringing her in now. Oh, she's still going down there. It's 8 and 40 remaining, and Vosu is already at medium. Trinity Bukalova's dropped 6. Vidal, Gansler, and Chu, along with Silvera, the usual suspects, are just sneaking around the corner to get that top box on practice runs. Takabayashi also showing some potential here. El Sadat dropping down pretty significantly despite his good performance. Let's see if he'll actually jump up on the numbers there. Oh, he did. He's now up to 4th. Nice run there. Now Vidal is showing some knowledge. Ooh, knowledge on race trim is now at level 1. Good spot there. Arrow setup is wrong. I need more downforce. Got you. We need more downforce, a bit softer on the handling, I suppose. on. Let me double check. Okay. We're gonna need some more oversteer. Soften it up. Keep the acceleration as it is. No, let's probably put it a little further up here. And more arrows. Hopefully that's gonna change something. Where's Vosu? Oh, Vosu is coming out next. Oof. Billy jumps up on Vosu, probably getting a 19th of a second out there. Let's see if Bukalova gets any improvement from that. We've only got 7.5 minutes left in practice. Hornblad and Lalpeklua suffering some significant issues with practice right now. Not exactly a good look for their team. Lucatelli and Octane. Octane really suffering through it this season so far. Exactly a good sign for him. Su coming in with the in-lap. He's probably going to drop in the standings again. Okay, gear ratios are great, but Vosu needs more downforce. Definitely needs a lot more work here. Downforce here. Bit more focus on, okay, a little more acceleration maybe. Bit more understeer, oversteer rather. See how it works from this point onwards. 6.5 minutes left in practice. We still have low setup knowledge for Bukalova. Not assigned race trim level 2 just yet. W with sector boost, knowledge on super soft tires on level 1. You know, I never reached level 3 on the tire knowledge anymore. I never reached the knowledge up to past level 1 on tire knowledge anymore. I used to do that back in the day. Oh, arrow setup is way better, nice one, but Bukalova is now down to 18th. We're still back up to 14th, but she definitely needs some work on that thing to get up to set of knowledge, as we still have 4.5 minutes to go. Race trim seems to be going okay though, and Vosu is now at setup knowledge high. If we can get Bukalova too high as well, it'll be a bit easier for for Perez to get some more ranks up in the actual race. Oh, Vosu is now fastest lap. 2 good sectors here, or 2 great sectors rather. Just had a bit more of okay, good gearing. Vosu just need a bit more learning up on first sector, which is a bit of a problem because that's where most of the wins can be obtained, so he needs to get better at that. Handling's a bit worse? Are you kidding me? Okay, 2.5 minutes there. Looks like we have to adjust his handling a bit. Lova just needs to get at least high. I'll go with high. And soft tire level 1. I guess it's higher if both drivers are using the same type of tires, but since we need them to play differently, I had to split them out, which means slower setup knowledge for tire for the tire add-ons. Okay, so the handling went down from good to okay. Still got 1.5 minutes left mostly. A little harder on the oversteer maybe. Okay. See if you can still run this lawsuit. Alright, setup knowledge is high for Bukalova now. She needs more downforce, but I don't know if I can fix that in the last minute. Yeah, no, I won't be able to fix that. It's going to take her a while to get back on track. But at least she's got high setup knowledge now, and we got race trim level 3, so that's going to help us a bit. Bilyu up there on top with 1:13. He might be going in now. Oh, super soft tires at level 2. That's a rare one. Seriously? Numbers don't look too good. Oh, we need better acceleration. handling's a little too much. Balance it up a bit more. Mm-hmm. A bit more balance on the acceleration should be good. Just a bit of understeer, a bit of balance between oversteer and understeer should help us. Now, if she can get out there, that'll be great. No, she can't. Dang it! Wasu stops down, and he's... Nope, downforce, handling, speed balance, still too low. Not exactly a good sign. We've only got greats on Wasu's line. Not exactly that's not exactly filling me with confidence here. Estevez at Vexala, yep, she moved there. So I was a bit disappointed with how practice went. I was expecting more. Honestly, same. She was a real, firebrand in the past 2 seasons, and her poor performance so far is not exactly a good sign for her or her current team. Bella's gonna rock it this weekend. Some bets on. I'm gonna put some bets on after that practice sesh. He has excellent stats, but they peaked, and he's also having issues with a dodgy neck. They're already dropping, so he's probably gonna retire soon. Right, here we go. I'm not confident that we'll be able to get numbers right for Perez. We need to learn how to get things set up for her soon. She needs more downforce. More downforce. Acceleration should be good. Maybe we'll use the same numbers that Bosu has. So it's going to be 16.17, 27.5. Is that the right? 16.7, 20. Mm. Well, the number seems to be the same. Now we need to adjust the handling as well. Now handling, okay, tire pressure and tire camber are the same. Gear ratio and suspension stiffness are slightly different, so it's going to be 31 and 44. See if we can use that here. Okay, so arrows are currently at that part high, but it does look like it's just going to be good. It's probably going to adjust it. Just speed balance. Handling is the problem because I did not get a good handling setup for this practice run. Not exactly a good sign. Hopefully it doesn't really affect us much. Let's keep it. See if it doesn't affect us much. Hopefully it helps Perez get up a bit higher, jumping up from our current standing in 12th. Up front, we have Griffin and Hornblad. Not exactly having a good time for both of them. We got Tianuna and Takabayashi on the second row. Up third will be Lopeclua and Esteva. Fourth is Lormore and Billiu. Billiu is a real hit here. He's got some pretty nasty moves, and he can easily overtake everybody. There's Saw there and fifth row with Perez. Fandi showing some real growth here. He's currently at 10th. He's sharing sixth row with Silveira, who's been having a bit of a hard time all season. There's the other surprising growth here, El Sadat, who's currently at 8th, shares 7th row with the dodgy-necked Iker Vidal. On 8th row, we have Schober from Lucatelli, looking like he's a bit confident right now. And then there's Marsh from Archer BMR, the newer one for the team. At 9th row, we have Chu and Ramsey. And then at 10th, we have Ganser and Vosu. Now, there's a good chance that we can probably jump from 20th to 1st. But we need to be lucky here for that to happen. Anywho, lights out, and away we go. Looks like Perez did a bit of a oopsie there. It didn't accelerate fast enough. Let's see if those tires are going to heat. Oh, what the heck? Uh-oh, Perez ran wide. That's not a good sign. She's now down to 18th after a really good spot there. And it looks like Ramsey is going to take over both of our teams now. And now both of our drivers are at the literal tail end of the race. Not exactly a good sign for Perez. Even worse, the push-up, rather that one wide run actually ate up most of her tires now. Now we're starting lap 2. Not exactly a good, not exactly providing good prospects for our pit practice. Do remember, we need to make this a 2-stop race, and we need to do it like somewhere around 10 and 20 at the very least. Though it's a bit more advisable to it at 11 and 21. Now we're starting on lap 3, and we're pretty much still way behind everybody else. Bit of a change up front. Ooh. As Lapaclua, Esteban, and Takabayashi are switching around. Fandi drops down to 8th. Sai is still at 10th, but she's having a bit of an issue with her tires already. El Sadat dropped to 14th. March, Chu, Ramsey, and Schober just jumping around on the lower half of the lower tins. What is Vosu complaining about with his teammate here? Looks like Perez is actually pushing up on the acceleration there. And the question is, can they at least stay in their positions? Oh, a bit of a fight there. Vosu and Perez just shaking around. Meanwhile, everybody else up front is still on top. Hornblad is at first, but he's already down 56%, and we're just in lap 4. Griffin is at second. Billiu is able to jump up to third, and Tianuna dropped down to 4th because of that overtake. Most of the mid-pack is already starting to break off, though. Not exactly a good sign for our drivers. We're getting left behind over here. Now Perez has dropped down at 20th, with Vosu taking over and taking a really risky overtake on that chicane near the opening corner. Tire temperature still seems to be okay, but Perez might need to push a bit further now as we start lap 5. And then, hang on. Sorry about that. I had to check something real quick. Something weird on my timeline lately. Just had to double check about it. Okay, we got a personal best from Boss Sue, but the problem is that's not helping much, as he's not exactly going for a quick run here. Okay. There's a good chance we might have to restart this if things stay like this. Even though we're still on lap 6, the wide run from Perez there pretty much ate stuff for us, and Vosu is not exactly in a happy spot as well. We can probably push it a bit further for tires, and then give Vosu a bit more of some leeway in getting the engine up as we start lap 6, and things are still pretty high up there in the front line with Tianuna and Bilyu fighting each other for third. But there's a lot of wide gaps, and Vosu can't really catch up to Schober, who's pretty much averaging probably 7 car lengths away. Sa's now up at 9th, but Gans are growing up even further. Not exactly a good look for our team so far. We might lose some more points here. And now Tianuna drops to second with Griffin taking over. What the? Where the Hornblad, because of his tire eating, is now down at 20th, and Perez gets ahead of him. No. Bosu still having trouble getting past Schober, unfortunately. Not really making the most of those wide corners. He's sticking a little too close. He's having overtaking issues again. We just need to get a little close. Oh no, it's the start of lap 8 already. Good thing is that tire wear seems to be okay for both of our drivers. Oh, we push Perez down a bit. Now Perez is overtaking Hornblatt for 18th. Wait, Fondi? Fondi dropped as well. That's weird. I guess they ate the tires a little too much. Now we have Bosu here. A good chance he might have to concede 16th place to Schober, as Schober is still pretty close to him. Too close. Yeah, he's definitely going to lose it in either the chicane or the last corner. Even though he's trying to break away. But now we're starting lap 9, and he's still 16th. A couple of the front runners have now pitted in as well. It's a little too early for that to go, but we're looking at Vosu probably changing tires soon. Probably going to be able to keep it for at least one more run. Yeah, he's seeing a bit of tire wear now. How about the front drivers? Right, Griffin is pitting in. Lalpeklua is also pitting. Esteva is still on the run with 26% of her tires remaining. But Sa is also switching up. I think we should go and do some more endurance running for this one. No need to fix parts. Yeah, we'll go for a quick fix, put Vosu in an endurance tire, and then we'll switch out to speed once we're close enough. Perez will probably have to wait until lap 11. Schober's already getting a little too tip-happy there. As we start lap 10, there's already a couple of people on the pit lanes here. El Sadat's still pretty much okay with 33%. Chu is also pretty decent at 26. Marsh at 26 as well. Schober is surprisingly tough at 42. But Perez at 5th, she's down to 27. We'll have to see if she'll be able to keep it for at least one more stop, or if she'll have to change with everybody else. Wasu is now down in 15th, not really getting out of the pit lane fast enough. And Lapiclua was blocking him significantly. We probably have to push him down a bit on the fuel lines there. Now Perez is getting a bit more we put Perez into a bit of a conservative run there. But considering she's already red, there's a good chance maybe to switch up and pit lane in as well. No need to change any of the parts. Yeah, no, we can't fix any of the parts right now. Very high chance of a very high risk of a failure there. I don't like that. Perez will definitely have to give up her current position as she tries to get out of pit lanes fast enough. Not quite fast enough, and she's now down at 13th. Now make that 16th. Now Vosu is up ahead of her. Okay, trying to put her down to medium as well. We're going for some endurance here. Hopefully we just need to switch them out around probably 20, no, 21 maybe? Oh. El Sadat with his rare front run over there, but he's probably going to switch out tires soon. And Perez just got overtaken by Chu on that one. Chu has now switched over to backup mode to try and keep his car alive for longer, while also blocking the last 4 drivers in the race. Wasu got overtaken there as he was blocked by Lalpiclua, and now Ganser is ahead of him again. Pretty good chance for a drop here. Significant chance of a drop here for our team. We might go down to 3rd unless we can somehow get something out of this. Wasu not exactly accelerating fast enough to get past Gansler. Gonna have to work with the corners here to keep him alive by the looks of it. Now we're at the start of lap 13. El Sadat has gone for a pit lane. Too bad he's still faster than we are. And now it's Vosu and Perez at 14th and 15th. Getting past Lormore was a bit of a chore, but he did it. And unfortunately, Lormore has now taken over Perez. Definitely a bit more work to be done here. Looks like they need to push the tires a bit further. Or at least Perez does. And now Perez has dropped down to 17th with Chu taking over both Lormore and Perez at the start of lap 14, and things might not look good for us now. A bit of a tight squeeze there, but Lalpiclua is keeping it real. Unfortunately, Ganser still manages to sneak past through. Vasu's not exactly having a happy run there with the acceleration. Lormore still keeping Perez in the back. Ooh, bit of a tight squeeze. Couldn't keep it on the long run there. And now Perez is back to 15th thanks to that corner overtake, but she might be losing it again with Schober just behind her. Chu gets one over Vasu again, and then there's also Lalpiclua. Not exactly a good sign on that last corner. Looks like Fandi has switched out for another set of super softs pretty late in the game. We're already at the start of lap 15, and things are still a bit too hot up front. I guess Vasu is having a hard time going with just the softs. He will have to switch him over to supers later. Perez did get a personal best here thanks to the tires, but we'll have to put her down a bit more so that she doesn't eat it. And now we're at the start of lap 16. Hornblatt is now pitting in again. Oh, this is a first pit? That can't be right. Unfortunately, that's still not going to be enough to put put our drivers up on the winners list. As Lalpiclua is keeping him blocked, and there's a bit of length. Not exactly a lot of power on the straights for both our drivers, which is not a good sign. Ooh, also no good with the braking. Definitely need some fix on those pit crews here as we start lap 17. Bellew still going strong at first with a 5-second gap from Griffin. I'm not too happy about the standings for both our team and our drivers. Perez might be stuck in her current spot here, but we really need to get them both at better spots soon, and I hope I can still get my sponsor objective, but there's a very high chance that we won't be able to do that at all. Ooh, another set of personal bests for Vosu here before we hit lap 18. A bit of a tight squeeze again. 15 laps to go. Perez jumps over Chu, as well as Lormore, and now she is in 12th place. Vosu is still at 11th. Is there a chance we can get back in the middle? Not looking too likely so far. Both our drivers are now at 40% plus on their tire wear, with Vosu 45% remaining and Perez 48% remaining. We could probably go for a push-up on both drivers now, since we're still in the middle of the circuit. Parts conditions still seem to be okay, but we might have to change up some things for... Oh, no! Genuine a crash. There's going to be a virtual safety car for... Ooh. Yep, that's going to be helpful for for the numbers, but Archer BMR is definitely not going to be happy with that. Another crash for them. And a really bad one at that. Might have an injury here. I don't think we're going to need to change... Oh, come on. We really need to... Fine. Putting down the set here. Oh, come on. Do we want to? I mean, Billy was still driving, and it's only 64 seconds. I don't think I want to do that. Everybody else is also going through. So negative on that virtual safety car pit. As we start lap 19th. Just need to time it properly. 30 seconds. 24. 15. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Alright, let's push it a bit more now. High and neutral. High and neutral. By pushing it. Nope! Vosu couldn't take advantage of that stop, and Lilpaklua is now breaking away. Can't really overtake there. Oh! Good split there from Vosu on the exit at the corner, getting one over Lilpaklua, and now he's running away. Perez, meanwhile, is stuck in the back thanks to that one. But we might have a change of fortunes here. Ah, couldn't quite snatch the corner there for from Lilpaklua. Who do we want to pit in? We could probably put a pit lane switch here. Or Voss soon now, or we can go for... No, I think we can go for a bit further. Definitely needs to push the tires a bit more, though. Keep it neutral. And Bossu is gonna push his tires a bit more, and then we're gonna send him over to the pit lane as we start lap 21. And Bossu is now at 6 with Takabayashi in the pit again. Looks like Marsh is doing her level best to keep Bossu out of the winner's circle here. But Bossu will not be denied, and he gets over there, snatching 5th. Unfortunately, Perez couldn't quite do the same. She's now behind Sa. Can Bossu keep it up for the next lap? Because by the looks of it, we might need to pit him in. Switching over stops. And at the fuel up. 6 laps. Parts still seem to be okay. Perez there. you're gonna have to stay up front while everybody else has to pit. Starting to struggle a bit with tire wear, but a little bit. She'll definitely have to switch after this lap. Ah, couldn't quite get to go there. Oh, front check mistake! Yet another mistake from our crew here. I'm not exactly confident that's gonna help us stay alive. What the front thing? We're getting some serious mistakes there. 2 mistakes! 2 mistakes! Very bad time, and now Vosu is at 19. And I don't think he's going to be able to get back into it, unfortunately. We're too far behind, and there's a lot of people still in the need for a change. Perez will have to give up her lap there. I hate it when that happens. 2 mistakes in 1 pit lane. Screw this. Can we still come back into this though? I'm starting to feel less confident about our prospects now. 2 mistakes in 1 run. That's gonna drop us to 4th. And Gansler is gonna jump 1 over Vosu here unless we can somehow survive and get something out of this lane. Very unlikely though. We'll just have to see. Tire situation isn't too hot either. So is the fuel. I don't think we're going to be able to get anything unless we somehow survive things from here. But Gansler is going to be able to get some points up over Vosu in the next 8, unless we do anything in the next 8 laps. You see El Sadat's now pitting. Where's Gansler? Gansler's at 8th, Vosu's at 12th. So we got a 4-point four-place differential between both of them. If we somehow manage to get Vosu up between these guys, we'll have a chance to get over Gansler. Oh, good overtake against Sa there, but it's too early to celebrate. Maybe we start lap 7 with a bit of a fight here on the corners. Can Vosu get back at it? No, he cannot. He's now down to 11th. Or rather 12th, because he can't get past things there, and Perez is still at 15th. A lot of work for both of our drivers as we try to get back into the run of things. Looks like Sa has now jumped to 10th just before the start of lap 27. Perez is down to 15th, also at 12th. Billy, Elsadot, Griffin, and Ramsey are up front there. Oh, Vosu bumping into Vidal instead of getting an overtake. Not exactly a good sign. So much for dueling driving, eh? I'll be trying to push the tires a bit, the engines a bit more. Hopefully that'll be enough to keep him in the runs. Perez needs to work more to get in the drive here. As we start with lap 28, El Sadat scoring 1. Vosu couldn't quite nail the overtake, and he is now stuck at 12. Perez jumping over Ramsey and Hornblad. Still a bit more work to do here for both our drivers. They definitely need to get that work done quick as we are approaching the last 4 laps of the course. Yep, we're now at lap 29, and things can get really hairy here. Can we at least get to the 4th? Vosu couldn't quite land that corner overtake, and he is back at 12th. Not really a lot of power for a straight overtake as well. Nasty, nasty blocking from Shover there. Now we got 3 laps to go. Fuel's still pretty decent so far. We probably should push them around lap 31. Uh-oh, I'm seeing some issue with Marsh now. Oh, wait, no, it's not Marsh. It's Lopeklua. Wait, no. Schober? Schober looks like she's having some problems with some of her parts. So is Ramsey. Gansler is still up on the lines up there, lineups there. He's currently at 5th. We need to get Vosu up a bit more, or else... Oh, yep, unless we get Vosu up a bit more, he'll lose his top spot. I'll be conservative on tires, I'm afraid. Okay, last lap, or last 2 laps rather. Starting lap 31, and we're still stuck at 12th and 14th. I can't believe Ramsey is getting a lead up over our team. Gansler is sure to get first now, as he is now in top 3. Unfortunately, he's now down to 18% on tires, and so is Perez, who's now also at 19th. So it might be a good time as any to push it to the limit for both our drivers, see if they can actually do something in the last lap. Just one push would be nice. Now we're starting the final lap, and Vosu is already in overtake. Ooh, Perez jumps one over Vosu here. Come on, man. Not exactly looking too hot for both our drivers, and Perez is even dropping. Screw it. Time to restart. Even though we did get good race trim on that, the fact that the mistakes were pretty high really hurt our race times. I need to replace some of those pit guys. Replace them soon. Just gonna do this for now because it looks like our pit management isn't exactly looking too hot. Can I replace them now, actually? I want somebody who's good at tires and fixing. Yabuki's great, but he's currently fatigued. And he's got 7 races left. Hang on a second. I just auto manage off for the time being. Let's see if I can switch out some of these guys manually. Hug is pretty bad. Ichinoto is good at tires and fixing. Maybe we should switch them out a bit. Pit time drop? What? On grid 8th. Yabuki would probably need a bit more. Umezu also tired. We seriously have nobody better than this? $26. See how that works for our team. Wait. Let's see if this has any change. Fortunately, that means this is going to be just a one leg stream. Much as I'd like to have another run after Tondela, we might have to just play it safe with this one. Kind of a shame, really. I was expecting to get more points out and probably improve our standing with the chairman, but can't really have it all the time. A bit more on acceleration, a bit more oversteer, some more downforce maybe. Our choice should be softs for now, yes. I'll go with super softs. Some of this. Let's hope this works better. Oh, whoops. Keep it at that. Roll them out. 8 seconds lost. That's on me. Not a good sign for us. Let's hope they don't complain about any more parts. No, this is not looking good. Setup knowledge growth is a bit bad. Not a good sign for us. 11 minutes wasted on nothing. It's really bad that I had to switch over to ×4 speed just to get ×4 speed just to see some more movement. Like literally just looking at traffic. What? Oh. Sector, not a good sign. Looks like Bosser's doing decently, at least. Arrow setup feels fantastic, really? Nope, 9 minutes in, 9.5 minutes left, and Vosu is still in low setup knowledge. Not a good sign for our drivers here. Definitely gonna get overtaken, but expecting Gansler to... Oh. Gansler was pretty close, but he's still 0.2 of a second behind. Almost 0.3 of a second behind, actually. Right, we're gonna do something about the handling. She needs a bit more responsive handling, so it's gonna have to be... Right, downforce is great. Handling could sure use a bit more responsiveness, though. So a bit of a steer, maybe? No, a bit more oversteer. We're gonna have to get the acceleration up. Alright, let's go out there. See if things change enough. Looks like Vosu's still top of the table, but I don't like the sound of that. As we're now at 7.5 minutes left on practice. Things might look a bit more nasty here than I thought it would be. Right, handling's a bit too soft. We'll change that here. Handling is poor. Downforce needs a bit more fixing. That's why, steer it there. See if that changes anything. We are already at 6.5 minutes on practice. That's taken a while. That took a while to fix. I don't like that. Six minutes left in practice, and we're still at level 1 race trim. Not a good sign. Might be another sign for another restart here. Okay, improved handling with Bukalova. How about Bosu? 5 minutes left in practice. Things still seem okay as far as standings is concerned, but the way we switch Vosu's parts out, it might change dramatically. Surprisingly, though, Gansler is at 4th, with Silveira and Esteban jumping ahead of him. Okay, race trim at level 2. Arrow setup is way better. Setup knowledge is now jumping up to high for Vosu. Bukalova's still at medium, though. Might have to change that. Change it up on the way out. At least give it some more time. Aero setup feels fantastic. Why is there always like some sort of cloud suspended on that corner anyways? Nice job handling, but Bukalova drops to 8th for Tino and jumping ahead of her in the timetables. Okay, handling's perfect. Speed balance, though, still needs a bit more fixing. So, a bit more acceleration then. But let's see. Got 2.5 minutes left in practice. Let's see how it works. Ooh, bit of a bump there. Couldn't have an accident in the middle of practice. Just a little more, we'll get race trim level 3, and that's going to help us survive a bit. Bukalova needs to get those numbers up. Okay, race trim level 3, Bukalova's probably at high. Great. Still great. Super Soft's also coming up to level 2. Yep. 15 seconds. I don't think he'll be able to jump out for another test run. But I think I'm good with this. Downforce is great. Acceleration and handling are perfect. We've got 99% on this one. He just jumped out of that. And now he's currently at first on the timetable. Bukalova, though, not exactly doing too hot. She's down in 10th now. Rather, 11th with Tia Nuna jumping ahead of her. Let's hope that does not reflect the actual race, at least for Bukalova's car. Perez better get the decent setups here. Oof. Silva Racing super fan here. Well, despite the fact that Schober was struggling over at practice day, she improves dramatically in the racing. Tia Nuna also not exactly confident about practice. So is Esteva. I don't think they have a good spot there. I guess Esteva was expecting to get at least first on practice, or at least second maybe, on practice. Alright, let's get rolling. I'm totally not confident we'll get anything any better here. Oh! Oh! Not too bad. Maybe this will translate into something. Still not too happy about it. Let's hope Perez doesn't run wide this time. And lights out, and away we go. Too bad she didn't accelerate pretty good there. At least we are still in the middle. I'll take that. Well, Sue! Oh, come on, man! Fortunately, they're both at super softs. I forgot to change tires again. Oh, well, whatever. Perez not doing too hot either. With things looking as they are, Vosu running wide is going to hurt our standings even worse. Now let's hope we can actually build up, rather come back from that. It's because by the looks of it, Perez is not exactly a happy camper herself. She is now down to 12th with Elsa Dot and Sa jumping ahead of her. As we start lap 2, Silvera also getting one over here. Bossu 12 seconds behind the rest of the pack. He's definitely having a bit of a confidence issue now. Probably go a bit more on high here. But I can't really risk getting Perez up a bit more. At least with the engines and all of that, because she's gonna lose more. She's gonna lose more reliability and faster than Bossu. Bossu 13 seconds behind. Up front, Griffin, Esteva, Billy, and Hornblad. Not much of a change there, but Griffin is now down to 74, just as much as we are. Definitely have to switch out Perez a little too early. P2 out for our drivers. Well, Baklua jumps to 7th, so has, well, Sa is also now on 8th, Elsadot at 10th. And now we're starting lap 4 with a bit of a switch up front with Billy taking over Esteva this time. Well, Sue has closed the gap somewhat, but he's still behind. A lot of work for the rest of the race, as we still have a lot of racing to do here. Numbers aren't looking too happy for our drivers and their cars, especially as Perez has trouble accelerating and keeping her back away from Fondi over here. Bossu has pretty much rejoined the group, but he's still having a hard time getting ahead. Hang on a second, I'm just checking something else on the news feed. Something's weird. Sorry about that. Okay, status report. Fosu may be part of the pack again, but he's way up or way down with the slower guys here on the lower end. Gansler is way ahead of him. Perez is pretty much a little behind Silveira. Still needs a lot of work to get back into it. Fosu needs to be a bit on the needs to be a bit more on the ball here because he's still way behind. If he wants to get back into his standings, he needs to work harder. Now we're starting lap 6, 27 laps to go. Still more racing to do, but I'm already losing confidence in actually getting back into this one. And Chu is way ahead of Perez. Or rather, Chu is a little ahead of Bossu, but Perez is having trouble getting back into things with Silveira way ahead of her. Bondi still sticking to her like glue. Marsh not far behind. Ooh, no, that's not good. Perez losing her 12th place spot there. A little too close, but she gets it back on the home corner. And we start lap 7 with the stats haven't not changed much. Hornblad, though, has already switched over at pit lane. Wait, what? Alright, Perez, thanks to Hornblad's switch out, is now 11th. But she still needs... Ooh! Quick thinking from Vani there, manages to get the spot away from Perez, but looks like Vani is about to switch out. Perez getting overtaken by Marsh on the straight, though. Not a good look. We've got the start of lap 8 here. Perez probably having to take over. Marsh and Fondi's position isn't exactly a good look, as she has issues with everything else here. Looks like we'll have to put her up on a soft spot next stop. Nope, nothing we can change on the parts. Looks like we still have a high chance of errors here. I don't know if I want to switch over to safe mode for the pit crew at this rate. Looks like we'll have to sacrifice... Ooh! We'll have to sacrifice some stuff here. Bossu still has some trouble getting into the thick of things, though. Perez is now down to 15th because of everybody else. He's definitely going to lose some spots here. 24 laps to go. Start lap 9, and Bossu is now jumping over to 12th. Still a bit more of a run there to work with. We'll probably have to stop it at the next run, maybe. Probably conserve it a bit more and then go for this change around lap 11. Bossu gets one over Chu on that one, but I don't think he's going to be able to keep it for long. Ugh. Right, Lormore's at 20, Esteva is at 23. We're gonna have to put Bossu in pretty early. Schauber got ahead of him. Looks like Billy is also about ready to jump ahead. Ooh. Okay, Esteva's pitted. So has Lormore. I guess we can safely send Bossu up. Put him in a... Let's put him in a set of soft tires for the time being. No mistakes, please. Okay. That's good enough. Let's push it. Perez is now at 14th. Bossu down to 16th because of that pit lane stop. See if we can push things a bit further now. We're now in lap 11. Perez is defending 14th from Marsh. Bossu trying to get in the thick of things, but Marsh is in his way. Gansler currently at the top, but he's just about ready to switch as he's now down to 24%. Vidal in second with 31. He still got a good stop there. Schauber manages to jump over everybody else and is now in third with 31. And Bilyeu, after a fresh run, is now at fourth. Griffin, who was leading the pack, is down at fifth with 86% of his tires remaining, though. Now Perez is at 14th because of that pit change for Bossu. Let's see if she can take advantage of that as we start lap 12 with no changes for our drivers. Uh-oh. Looking a bit nasty for Bossu here as Ramsey is just about ready to ram him out of the road. Bossu says, nope, this opening corner is mine. Instead, Lormore jumps one over Ramsey and just about pushed him away with 3 or probably 4 cars lengths away. Nope, he can't get past March that cleanly there. He's still stuck at 16th, and we start lap 13. 20 laps to go. Alright, looks like Marsh got ahead of both Perez and Bossu now. Whoa! What the heck happened to Marsh? She got left behind there. Marsh is now down at 17th as Perez and Bossu jumped over to 14th and 15th respectively. Couldn't get past Lopeclou, unfortunately, and Gansler, who was leading earlier, had to pit up and is now down at 12th. Uh-oh, Bossu going push-up over there, getting one over over Perez and Lormore, and he's now in 13th with Perez at 14th. Perez drops to 15th thanks to Lormore, though, and now we're starting lap 14 with a bit of a change in the standings. Looks like Marsh is just about ready to get back into 14th, too. Billy, Griffin, Hornblood, and Esteban are back up front, but their tires are now really worn. Well, Sue still has a lead on Gansler for now, but unfortunately Perez has dropped to 14th because of her current standing. If she can't get back into things, she might eat up into our points with Watson Industries here. And Chu just about ready to jump over into 14th. Not quite landing it on that particular chicane. Perez successfully defends against Chu on the opening corner, but the straight might be a different idea. Nope. Just slightly different spot there for Perez, and she keeps 14th as we cross the line for the start of lap 15. Now, can our drivers survive for longer as we approach the approaching the end of the middle of the second lap, or second quarter rather, or second third, I mean, of the race. Probably conserve the tires a bit more for Perez so they can survive at least until lap 20, and then we can give her the tires back. Now we're starting lap 16. Still not much of a change there, but Silvera seems to have switched out their tires again. Or switched out the tires for the first time. Now she's down to 17th. While Sue has jumped over to 11th thanks to a mistake by Lormore. Perez unfortunately went down to 15th there as Marsh jumps over her position. Slow overtake there on the corner. Unfortunately, Perez's acceleration didn't do much, and Marsh is back in 14th with an extra 2-car length. Now we're starting lap 17 with Perez even worse for wear. Really need to get back into things here. The tire's about to get a bit hotter. And to push it afterwards. How's our parts conditions though? Still decent. Could use some more work there. But Vosu is now at 10th, thanks to a few setups over. Probably keep it at neutral at least. Gonna need a lot more work in the fuel, unfortunately. Now we're starting lap 18, and there's somebody who's gonna be switching out some tires here. Gonna help Perez, probably. Yep, Perez is now at 12th. Lormore is still blocking her way, and she can't get close to Vosu just yet. Still need some work to get back in the top 10 here for Perez. If she wants to stay in her current spot, she'll need to jump over Takabayashi, who's currently at 7. Vosu having a hard time getting close to Gansler, who's still ahead of him. And also ahead as far as tire wear is concerned. Still have a few laps to go. 14 laps to go, and we're going to start lap 19. Sa has once again gone for a pit stop here. That jumps us over, just puts Vosu a bit higher at 9th, Perez at 11th. Bilyu still driving, despite the fact that his tires are now almost nibs, but he's going to switch out at the start of the next lap. Griffin, meanwhile, is still pretty decent, keeping the tires in conservative mode at 32%. Esteva rolling decently with 46 still left on her tires, and Tia Nunes down to 24, but he's pushing hard to get back in the top 3. These straights are really killing our cars. They're not really powerful despite the fact that we got better engines. I guess it's just the downforce really hitting it there. And Gansler are still blocking things, and it looks like Perez is just about ready to switch. We start lap 21. Okay, give her another lap. Let's switch her out around lap 21. Let's start lap 21, I suppose. Uh-oh. Perez is now at 8th. Good chance to jump to 8th if she can keep it here, but I don't think she can. Bosu still 6th. Gansler still ahead of him. If he can jump over, he'll make sure he can increase his lead to Gansler. As things stand, though, there's a good chance that Gansler will take top position here on this cup standings as we start lap 21 with another pit lane stop here for Takabayashi this time. And now Gansler and Wasu jump one spot each. Perez down to 17% on their tires. Probably a good time as any to switch her tires up as well and give her some fuel. What conditions? Alright, let's switch the front wings out. She'll have to fight to get back in the middle though. Wasu still rolling easy, 32% on tires, 3.81 laps of fuel remaining. But Gansler still ahead of him, 40%. Now, can we keep it here? There's a good chance that we'll have to switch out somewhere around lap 23 with 11 laps to go. No mistakes, please, no mistakes. Okay, no mistakes on our part. Perez is exiting in the middle there. And looks like we're starting to see some tire struggles here. Esteva still rolling at 25%. Vidal about ready to switch. We could probably still roll with another minute of driving. Keep Perez up, down there. Probably keep it at high. Wasu, 4th. Gandler still rolling with 31% to go. We still got 21 on Wasu. Wasu has taken over Lormore's position, and he's now in 3rd. Esteva up on the lead with 19% on her tires. Still no sign of her changing out, though. Now, can Perez take advantage of some of these spots? I don't think she can. She's a little too far out for the pit lane's crew. Now, oh, she got 1 at least, and she's up to 14. Okay, it's about time to switch over. Lormore is switching out. Esteva is switching out. How about Gansler? No, Gansler is still sticking out on 2nd. We might have to switch to a super fast here. 21st. What? Eighth. At 17 seconds, that's gonna drop us way behind. Perez. Perez is now at 14th. Can she jump back into it, though? Esteva has now gone into the pit. Gansler is still moving away. Wasu is now in a pit lane. Let's see if we can actually get back into it, though. Now, if we miss our sponsor objective at the start, lap 24, and Wasu is at 10th now, getting overtaken by a lot of the other drivers up front. Perez is at 14th, couldn't get past Lormore there. We need to fight to get back in the lane. Let's see if we can get some speed up on that one. Okay, let's put Wasu up on some extra speed on the push there as we start lap 25. Bilyu is now in the lead. Gansler taking a pit lane stop. Couldn't get through to Gansler, though. Where is he? Gansler is at 9th. But Wasu's current position, he'll still be ahead of Gansler if he can keep his 11th place. But there's a good chance we can probably jump a bit more over on Gansler if we can get through these at least top 3 ahead of us. Elsada, Gansler, Takabayashi. How many more laps do we have to work with? 7 laps to go. Let's see. Now we're starting at lap 26. Vosu still at 11th. Silvera has dropped to 14th thanks to that pit lane stop. Bilyu, Tianuna, and Sa at risk of having to lose their spots again. Vosu can't get past Takabayashi, unfortunately. That was a bit of a tight squeeze. As we start lap 27 with 6 laps remaining. Ooh! Vosu getting one over there, just as we exit the end, the last corner. Perez, can she get back into the top lanes? Ah! Vosu can get out of past Bilyu on that exit lane, and Bilyu is now on block mode. Could still use a bit more on the fuel there, though. Let's see if they can actually keep it till the end here. Perez is going to have to deal with Schober, unfortunately. It looks like Schober has some parts issues that she has to worry about. Can Vosu get back into it? Gansler still up there at 5th. And his tire zone seems to be a bit of an issue here at lap 28. Oh, looks like Tianuna and Vidal have switched out. Vosu jumps to 5th here, thanks to those pit lane runs. Perez jumps to 8th as well. Leapfrogging the guys in the pit lane for both of our drivers, but Perez with 8th could be good, but considering the standings, I think the chief, or rather the chairman, would rather that we have somebody at the podium. Gansler, Vidal, Esteva, and Bilio are still a bit of an issue for both of our drivers as we start lap 29 with 4 laps remaining. Still a bit more work to go, maybe. Oh, that's not good. Looks like Gansler ran wide. We'll take care of that then. Vosu snatching the advantage now. Definitely going to grow up some more points ahead of Gansler, but we need to keep it in home. We still have 4 laps to go. Can our drivers take it? We need to get Perez up further. Vosu should be able to get up to the podium if he can get past Pilyu. Tire temperature, tire wear, a bit of a concern. And we've only got 3 laps to go. Ooh, almost got past Bilyu, but he can't snatch past on that inner corner. And it looks like Gansler is still sneaking out the back. Schober has retired because of parts issues. Looks like they can't, they didn't fix it in time, and well, she'll have to switch out. Lucatelli Racing suffering another heartbreak here. A bit of a fight there for 7th place as Lormore and Takabayashi seem to be having a bit of a bump out on the opening corner. Too bad Perez was a little too far for that to be an open advantage here. What's Gansler looking at? Oh, Gansler is at push-out mode here. We're probably going to go on push-out once we've hit the last 2 laps. Till then, we're still driving up here on the regulars. How far away are we? 2 laps to go here. We're lap 31. Just need to push the drivers a bit further in. It looks like everybody else in the back have done some more pit lane runs. Schober just dropped in. Fanya and Marsh could probably take advantage of that. Marsh, a bit of a disappointment here. Looks like she got hit by something real bad, and she's back at the lanes now. Perez is now at 6th, surprisingly. Vosu still at 3rd. Could probably get something done, though. Probably risk it as soon as we cross the switch-out lane for the final lap here. As Bilyu is still a little too far ahead. And now is a good time as any to push it to the limit. Final lap, here we go. Perez probably has to keep a defensive lane here just to avoid getting overtaken. But Vosu has a chance to play around and get an overtake at the last lap. Let's see if he can bring it home at least. Oh no, Perez got overtaken by Vidal. She's going to drop to 6th, but she's still going to be at 7th if she can bring it home. Or can Vosu bring it home? At least to 3rd. Yep, Vosu's at 3rd. That's a good spot there. How about Perez? Perez is down at 7th. Looks like she's still complaining about that. But nonetheless, that's going to keep us within striking distance of Silver Racing, and that's going to keep Vosu ahead of Gansler for the rest of the season. I'd say that's a good finish overall, but I don't think the chairman's going to be happy. Esteva's ahead from Vexala Motorsport, though. Let's see what the numbers are. Everything's running our way here. We did manage to stick to a 2-stop race, but unfortunately Perez couldn't take advantage of the speed bonus, and she's stuck at 7th. Vosu, meanwhile, managed to maintain the endurance in the middle, and we switched out to speed at the last second, letting us get a podium finish for today. Not a bad start, or not a bad end after a restart. Let's see how the parts are, though. No rules broken. No rules broken for any of the others either. Esteva gets extra bonuses for fastest lap on the race at the last second, too. Now let's see how it goes from here. Vosu with 18 points, Perez with 14. And once again, we are on the podium. I'll take it. See how it goes. Now we're at Vosu is at 72 points, 7 points ahead of Gansler. Not much of a difference from the previous one. Perez getting back up in the ranks. She's now at 7th, just 27 points behind, actually. Unfortunately, Hornblad and Griffin are still out at the back. Fandi dropped out to 16 as well. Marsh, because of those mechanical issues, got hit with a big penalty, and she's now down to 13th. Silvera, despite winning one for Octane Racing, is down at 12th. Vidal jumps to 6th, and Chu drops to 8th. El Sadat also dropped to 9th. Not exactly a good sign for her. Oh, it was Esteva that got the win. I forgot. It wasn't Silvera, it was Esteva. They were both Spaniards, and they're both ladies, so... Let's see. There was something else I want to look at. Oh no, it wasn't this. Yeah, it just says retired. Real shame for Marsh there, because she was in a pretty good position to at least be within the upper half of the mid-pack, but because of the parts problems, she kind of dropped in. Now we're 1 point behind Silver Racing. We could probably snatch first place again if we're lucky. I appreciate the support there, Mr. Adame. It's still the same drivers, though. Excel Motorsports scoring one there. Gansler, great job this weekend, right up there, despite the fact that, yes, he did have to drop. Still a bit of a problem with the investment for cars in Dragon Race Team. At least we did round up the race with a podium finish. Let's see how the chairman reacts, though. The numbers were a bit too low. We're probably going to lose chairman happiness again. Oh no, we got second! Yeah, the chairman's going to be real happy with that. Also, slight boost to marketability, not bad. And we got extra money thanks to Bukalova, so more growth in driver stats would be nice. I'd really appreciate that. Chairman's happy. We get money back. I'd say that's a good race day, really. Even better, we're on a podium, so I think we actually got the runs we needed. Alright, let's do a couple of other, let's look at the other spots here, and then we'll call it in for the night. Now it's Ardennes. Our drivers are still pretty low on the grid, stats a bit low as well. Pit crew is now at 7th best thanks to the split up. Looks like the Dragon Race team managed to get some good sponsors this run, or this step at least. Hang on a second. Hang on, where are we? Alright, let's check those mails. Well, Sue tops the timesheets there. That's on a headline. Let's see how it dropped. 23% for Vosu, 37 for Perez. Not a bad spot, all think. Sorry about that. Was distracted by something. Okay, interview. Let's see what's on the interview. Ah, not again! Didn't mean any harm. Although the chairman didn't exactly like that, but it's just 1%. So not much of a worry there. The chairman just... Oh no, not good. It's gonna be stormy in the Ardennes next season. Next race, I mean. Right, total of 4 pit stops. That's 27ths of a second slower than the record. We had a mistake-free weekend, but the lap times are still pretty bad. Hopefully, with the pit crew now switched up, we could see some improvement. Parts are still under fixing. We still have 6 days until that new engine comes out. I think, all things considered, we're pretty much done for the day. And on a win, too. Good thing I restarted, eh? Exactly a good thing. It's not a, it's not exactly a good habit to, do resets like that all the time, but I just want to do something to stay in the running at least. Because I really want to get that motor car factory. Anyway, with that out of the way, thank you so much for dropping by. I know it was another late stream, and it was shorter than expected. Also didn't do much because we only got stuck on one leg of the race, or one leg of the season. But we at least managed to eke out a win, so I'll take it as it is. I'd like to say I'll continue this tomorrow, but unfortunately I have a rather more pressing engagement to work with. I cannot push that out for another day. So fortunately, rather, for people who don't really like my voice, you won't be hearing me tomorrow and on the next one. So it's gonna be a long weekend of no noise from me. And what do you call it? Maybe next time we will continue this, but I feel like I want to get a bit of a break from the tarmac and get back to some Command and Conquer when we start streaming, or when we go back to streaming again after the weekend, or after the weekend is over, yeah, somewhere around that. For now, though, if you got any complaints or valid reactions, I'd love it if you drop me a line on my Twitter or my Pixiv. If you got a hankering for the older streams that have expired here on Twitch, I really recommend you check my VOD archive linked in the About tab of my profile page. Speaking of my profile page, if you got a friend who might be interested in this, if you had a friend who might be interested in the stuff I stream, I would really appreciate it if you shared my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/lurk at work. That's all from me for now. Once again, tomorrow is going to be a no stream day because of a more pressing and very important engagement that I could not put off for another day. So I won't be here tomorrow. And after that is another rest day for me, as I am once again going to spend the weekend for a recharge, mandatory um, late week recharge I always take so that I don't sound awful next time I run stream. I'd like to say I can send you over to a friend, but apparently most of the people that are most of the people in my network that are streaming are pretty much done for the night. So I guess I'll just have to bid you a good night and hope you enjoy the rest of the week. And sure you would, because you won't hear me on stream for 2 days straight. So that's going to be a good jump up for everybody else. Anyway, as for me, Lurk at Work is RTV. Thanks again for watching. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Good night, everybody.